You have been telling yourself that you are a lazy person, that you are inconsistent, that you procrastinate a lot, you are unmotivated, and that's the major reason why you are where you are in life. But what if I tell you today that you are not lazy? You are not inconsistent, you are not unmotivated. What's happening is that you are out of alignment. And by the time you get into alignment, everything changes. This video might be one of the most powerful videos you might watch in your lifetime. Hi guys, you're welcome again to another episode of our YouTube channel. This is A Distinct Woman. This is where I teach you how you can be able to become that woman who has it all without shrinking herself to be accepted by everyone else. I teach you how to use your feminine power to get what you want while doing it God's way, while building wealth as well too. My name is Joy. I'm an entrepreneur, a speaker, a coach, and also a consultant. Now, if this is your first time here, you are welcome. Let's cut right into the chase. Now, some of you have told yourself that, oh, I am a lazy person. I cannot be able to do anything good in life. I am inconsistent. Most of you feel really tired on so many things, and this can apply to things like maybe your job. I think the job is one of the most vivid example I can give, because some of you're going to work and you feel like, I'm going again today to work and I don't want to go to work today. Or even for those of you in business, you feel so you cannot be able to do the business with joy, and you're just showing up just probably because it pays the bills. And I know I've been there before. I used to have a digital marketing business at the time, and I was resenting my client at some point. The thought of having people, I was getting the sales, but the thought of having people message me at some point, it felt like I didn't want to do anything. I became very lazy about it. But really, it's not laziness, it's just misalignment. Now let me get right into the chase. Let's talk about what laziness is just when you don't want to do anything. But misalignment, on the other hand, is even when it looks good in quotes, you still feel like something is missing. In what you might be doing might not be bad in itself, but something in your soul is crying out that this isn't meant for you. In my little note right here, I said that sometimes we have misdiagnosed laziness, and sometimes because of we live in this toxic hustle culture. In A Distinct Woman, that's one of the key pillars that I use in Distinct Woman, because I usually say that we build from peace. As somebody who has been through the hustle culture all my life, I've been working, I've been doing everything, and I've had more of men train me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that hard work is really bad, but the hustle culture keeps saying that if you are resting, or if you are building from overflow, or if you are in a feminine energy, then you are wrong, or something is wrong with you, or things are not going to work. The hustle culture keeps saying keep doing more, and it's forbidding for you to rest. Some of you might even have your businesses, and yet you are working 24/7. And at the end of the day, I'm not saying it's bad to work. I work all the time. I'm always on my videos, I'm always filming, but you are doing so from a place of overflow, not from exhaustion. You're not doing it because if you don't do it, then something is going to go wrong. And you cannot show up when your heart is resenting it. Even if you are showing up, chances are that you're not going to put your heart and soul into what you're currently doing. If you're in business, that would be the reason why you are still struggling with your sales, because something somewhere is misaligned. And the problem is, most times people come to maybe me for business coaching, and they are saying to me, this is what is happening, but I discovered that it's way beyond just the business strategy. Sometimes you want to do, oh, what social media things am I doing that is not working right? What is a strategy I'm missing? Or if you're a career lady, you're feeling like maybe I need to change jobs, or maybe it's the toxic culture of the company. But no, it's not. It's from you. You cannot show up when your heart is resenting what you're currently doing. All right. Now, most time misalignment also manifests as procrastination. Some of you keep procrastinating that launch, you keep procrastinating your podcast, or you keep procrastinating starting that particular thing. No, there are two things to this. Now, there's a time that you might procrastinate because you are scared. There are a lot of people that I've worked with, it's just that fear. Maybe when you were growing up, your father or your mother or someone you love told you that you can't be able to amount to anything. And so when God is speaking to you to do something, sometimes that fear comes up and you withhold yourself. That is one thing. Now, there's another part of it where it's just pure misalignment because it doesn't light up your soul. What you're currently doing doesn't light up your soul, doesn't give you joy. You're going there and you're burning your face, or you're trying to launch something and you are not not excited. Now, if you're in business or you are in coaching, let me tell you the truth, your clients can feel the energy behind your launch. Sometimes when I used to launch some of my programs and product then, and I remember when the launch would flop. Now, looking back at it right now, I discovered that I was just launching because I saw other people doing the same and I wanted to just do it, not because it was lighting up my soul. Chances are that people, your customers or your clients, can technically feel the energy behind what you're doing. And that's the truth. You have to be able to show up. Sometimes if you find yourself procrastinating, ask yourself, am I afraid or am I misaligned? Because chances are that what you are procrastinating on might not really be what God has called you to be. Many times we end up carrying loads or burdens God never asked us to carry. Building a business, building a company, building a brand, building a ministry shouldn't feel like warfare. I'm not saying hard times are not going to come. Of course, business, you can't escape it. But it shouldn't feel like warfare all the time. Sometimes that business is not what God has called you to do. That's why it looks as if it's forced. You saw other people doing it, they were making money, and then you jumped into it. Not because God called you to do it, but because you saw other people doing it. Now, sometimes also the strategy failing is also a sign of misalignment. Now, this happened to me because there was a time when I'm very good at, well, not really, but I know one or two things about Facebook ad. And there was a time when I was doing everything. I remember telling my friend, I said, I'm doing everything and nothing was working. I was changing strategy and I didn't know that God was saying something else. Sometimes you might be trying to do something, but your soul is saying, this is not what you are called to do. I did everything, the ads just wasn't working. What is going on? What strategy am I missing? I got on a call with a consultant, with a coach, I implemented everything, and yet nothing was working. Sometimes if the strategy is failing, it might just be a sign that you are in misalignment. Now, what are the other signs that you're also in misalignment? I'll just rush through that. Number one, you're working really hard and you're bearing little fruit. You're working like an elephant and you're eating like an ant. That might just be your soul and your heart telling you this is not what you are meant to do. Another one, number two, is that you keep second guessing everything, right? Even the things you were once sure about. You are doing something and then you keep second guessing yourself. That might be a sign that you are misaligned as well too. Another part is you are constantly drained by business. This one happened to me, right? Your brand responsibility, it's draining you. I'm not saying business is not hard work. It is hard work, a lot of hard work. But if it's constantly draining you, if you find yourself resenting your business, resenting your customers, that is a sign that you are misaligned. And then you feel like you're always behind no matter what you do. So you feel like no matter what you do, you cannot get ahead. That might be a sign as well too that you're misaligned. And you feel like you're always looking for a new plan or a new strategy, jumping from one thing to another. What they typically call shiny object syndrome. Oh, it's happening here, you jump there. Oh, it's happening there, it's happening there, and then you jump there. Now I've said what it is like. If you feel like what you're currently doing right now, the job, the business, the brand you're currently building right now is something, this is not what I'm meant to do. How do I realign myself? Now, one of the questions you need to ask yourself is, what do I really want to build? What is that one thing that lights up my soul? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And then the other thing is you need to ask yourself, what I'm currently doing right now, am I really happy doing it? And will I be happy doing it even if I have all the money in the world? That's a powerful question, because some of you are just doing it because to put bread on the table. If the bread is on the table and money is never an issue, would you still be doing what you are currently doing at the moment? Another thing is you have to understand that you are not made to hustle. If there is something that I speak a lot about in The Distant Woman, is the fact that we don't hustle, we don't chase, you attract. What you're looking for is already looking for you, but it's not looking for the current version of you who is still begging for crumbs. You need to understand that you don't hustle, you don't chase. If you were looking for, you feel like what you're currently doing right now, it might be a highly successful business. I've seen highly successful CEOs, and yet they are successful on the outside, but inside feels so misaligned and they feel like nothing is working. If that is you, I want to invite you to this Distant Woman mentorship. This is where it's way beyond just mentorship or coaching. This is where I bring you back to the path of alignment, where your soul lights up again. Most times when women get on the path of alignment, everything feels easy. The wealth comes, the peace comes, everything you desire comes. I hope you guys learned one or two things from today's video. I'll see you guys in my next video.